God dag, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the Dreadnought Improvement Project. So, this was not really intended, but it happened. This battleship, along with these DDs, were supposed to join with a squadron of battlecruisers down here to engage this very French fleet. However, the battlecruisers got distracted by a heavy cruiser at the end of the last episode. So this battleship and the DDs now have to face this alone. Let's first see if I can withdraw. If that's not possible, well, we're just gonna have to try and survive. Yeah, no, not possible, probably because this is slower than anything the French have. So we have to see if we can get out alive. And of course, at least one of those French battleships is that huge 90,000 ton monster with the 20-inch guns. Let's see, Aegeon, which is a Greek-built or Byzantine-built battleship that I've taken over as war operations. 21 knot top speed, so kind of slow. But she's got 17.2-inch guns, which is not bad. And she's been refit with 190% armor quality, but the armor is not the thickest. It already had the 17-inch guns when I took it over, which is maybe a bit much for a 40,000 ton dreadnought. So let's see, the plan here, just have the battleship try and get away. The DDs will try to just throw some torpedoes into the path of the enemy formation, and then also try to get away. And I do intend to like spread them out, so hopefully the French fleet will follow one of the DDs in a direction that is not the same direction as my battleship is trying to flee to. We're not really taking fire just yet. There we are. Well, we have no visible targets in sight. There we go. Not sure how effective this torpedo spread will be. You got more torpedoes left. You can go more like that direction, and you can maybe turn away this direction. Alright. Are we gonna get any torpedo hits out of this? We might. We might actually get quite a few torpedo hits. Yeah, maybe not as many as we could have. Something is flash firing. Yeah, most of those torpedoes were aimed at some DDs that changed course, so that's just how it goes. But my battleship is escaping. I think Viking 19 is the one they're following. So that's fine. Yeah, we did some damage. And taken no damage in return. Although... yeah, some of these enemy ships are faster than my DDs, actually. And these are back as one division. So no matter which one of them they're chasing now, we're drawing them away from the battleship. Which of course would not be able to escape if the enemy was actually chasing it, but they seem distracted by the DDs. Which for once is to my advantage. Yeah, that said though, we're not really getting away. Even the heavy cruisers are faster than these. Oh, they're not going at full speed. Okay, Viking 19, you just lost your torpedoes. I think this time, when these torpedoes are reloaded, I want to try and make a run at their one of their battleships. One or more of. Which is not really what I was planning to do initially, but I guess I'm getting a little bit greedy. Actually, no. Let's just end it here. And we're going to claim that as a victory before losing any of these DDs. That will be needed when the task forces finally combine. And here we go. That's another battle. The old dreadnoughts invading Malaya have encountered some more British ships. Just cruisers and DDs though. No battleships this time. Let's see, how much ammo have I regained since the last battle? I've lost some DDs, obviously. Let's see. My battleships are in good condition. Not fully stocked on ammunition. Fryktlös has a decent amount of ammo. That's not too bad. Let's see, you can just follow. And we got two DDs here. Two Vikings. 05 and 08. They're just gonna do their usual thing of throwing torpedoes into the path of the enemy. And we're gonna see how much damage we can do. think I'm gonna try and just aim at the enemy heavy cruisers, if possible. But of course, those cruisers might be concealed in smoke when I get close enough. Let's launch, smoke, and get out. Are we launching yet? 08 is launching some. There go the rest. 05 is launching. There we go. Might get some hits. Maybe. We'll see. Meanwhile, guns are starting to fire. Cruisers are doing cruiser things. No, 13.5s are not quite in range yet. The big 17s are, though. Let's give the big guns a bigger target. Oh, we did do some torpedo damage. Shannon took one good torpedo hit. Yeah, are these ships damaged from before? They are. Some of these enemy ships are quite damaged from a previous battle. And they're doing the thing where they follow my DDs again. Poor Viking 05 being the selected target, it seems. Well then. Andromeda, did you you took some 17-inch hits, didn't you? Yeah, the 13-inch guns are just barely in range. Okay, you guys. You guys. You guys need to stop doing whatever it is you are trying to do with this mess here. You would Alphenager, I want to play with your torpedoes just a little bit. Well, Surt and Frey, you can try and put your big 11-inch guns to use. You can easily murder some DDs. And some light cruisers even. two heavy cruisers are kind of done, I think. Let's see. 11s on the light cruisers. What kind of armor are we talking here? 5-inch on the main belt? Yeah, you don't have a lot of torpedoes left. Are we gonna get some torpedo hits here, maybe? The torpedo. You just launched at something, probably these cruisers. Or maybe these two. There we go, torpedoes are striking home. Gladiator sinks. Blonde is gonna sink. And now we just have to assume there are enemy torpedoes in the water. Different places. Let's focus the ones that still have torpedoes. Now let's ignore the ones that have spent theirs for now. Munster is gonna sink. There he goes. Marshall next. Sabrina went down. Torrent has no torpedoes. Only Marshall and Greenfly do. Let's turn in case some of them launched. Greenfly went down with her torpedoes. Battleship ceasefire. You might need that ammo next month. And the 9.5s are just very, very effective at dealing with DDs. Maybe like so. Yeah. It's a pretty unique looking cruiser, so nice to have it on thumbnail maybe. There we go. And yeah, that high pen HE just goes straight through the DDs. And, well, not straight through, it's not overpenning, but it goes through the armor and then blows them up. Just as intended. Very nice. It's nice to have some smaller-ish battles for a change after January, which had, well, turned into 5 different episodes just for 1 month. So we got 4 Canopus class battleships and an Indomitable class battlecruiser. On our side, we got the new Harald Haarfagre class and the captured French battleship and a lot of DDs. Alright. Are these veterans yet? Yeah, they are. Curon is only seasoned. Remember to season your baguette. Now, these British battleships, they're not the big, impressive 100,000 ton super battleships, but I do think they're probably better than those. Because they've got very impressive armor. Let's see, let's first just join all the DDs together. And then have the J33 class DDs split out into a different division. Because they got different top speed. The enemy doesn't have a lot of DDs. So they're just gonna be extra torpedo boats again. They were more envisioned as actual destroyers intended to hunt down enemy DDs and torpedo boats, I guess. Not that they technically have any torpedo boats, but I guess a torpedo focused DD is still kind of a torpedo boat. Viking 13 is being taken along for a ride. If we just slow you down. Are you gonna... Okay. Can you just not stick together like Velcro? It would be very, very useful if you could just... No. And you just change which one of you is the... squadron leader. No. Darn it. Okay, I have to do this again. Okay, you are like so, and there we go. Okay, can you guys form up now? It'd be very nice if you could do that. I've said this before, but Like, the number one thing this game really could have benefited from is just having the option to deploy your ships before the battle starts, kind of like you can in Total War. Instead of having this completely messed up formation that you need to fix, and then everything is chaos. Okay. So I might be eating some torpedoes from the enemy DDs here, but that's... hopefully we can get our own torpedoes in the water before the Vikings take too much damage. Okay. That will have to do. And we're just gonna have to launch... maybe Viking 16 will get in range of Audacious. It is closing in. So far so good. Viking 16 is not launching. Viking 16 did not launch. But the other ones did. Okay, so they're kind of done. How about these two? Actually, just aim for Malaya and Revenge. They're kind of in the middle. Then put your guns to use on the enemy DDs. Okay, back to the battle line. While we still have some ammunition and they're not just wasting everything trying to hit DDs or something. Yeah, we might get some torpedo hits here, and we are getting some torpedo hits. So it's not as if those Vikings died in vain. Up to 10 torpedo hits so far. $13. Even got some on the battlecruiser Lion. 14. J-33s are getting out. Viking 15 and 14 are getting out. Alright. Malaya has taken a lot of damage. Let's see, Viking 14 has no more torpedoes. 3306 has had some hits to the launchers. It's got one torpedo left. 3305 has torpedoes, but it's taking a bit too much damage. Yeah. But now our guns are starting to hit. Doing some pretty big damage to those enemy battleships that have already been crippled by torpedoes. Question is though, do we have enough ammo? You know, if the big guns can keep slapping like that, you might not need that many shots. Kiron takes flooding. But she does strike back. And I think we're gonna sink Malaya. We're focusing most guns on Kiron. Malaya will go down. Fine. What are you doing now? Just when I need you, you start messing up as well. I mean, I had no problems with this in 1.6. So that's a either a problem caused by 1.7 or by dip. A complete inability to just stick to the speed I set the division to. And just randomly starting to overtake other ships in the same division. Even though they're supposedly set to the same speed. You launch torpedoes. And you are changing targets. Very useful. Nice. And secondaries on the DDs. My own battleships are soaking up the hits just fine. It's mainly the French one that doesn't quite have the same level of armor. And I think less resistance as well. Lion goes down. That's nice. Revenge goes down. Now we're just gonna have to sink Magnificent. These DDs are out of torpedoes, so you can just focus that light cruiser. Quran running a little bit low on ammo. As are my battleships, by the way. So let's do another couple of salvos at Quran. At Magnificent, excuse me. And then switch to Audacious. There goes Magnificent. Quran is out of ammo. Harald Haarfagre and Olav Haraldsson also a little bit short. Let's turn your guns off until you're closer. The enemy has no more torpedoes. I got one DD left here. Still has some torpedoes. It's a bit far away though, but we can bring it in if we need to have some torpedoes launched at that battleship. Yeah, light cruisers do not carry torpedoes. So we can safely get closer with the battleships. $18 kilometers. What kind of armor are we looking at here? 17. Yeah, I think we can open fire now with the main guns. There we go. Flash fire aboard Audacious. That is nice. And the secondaries are opening up on the light cruisers now. That's nice. And we're scoring more penetrations on Audacious. Maybe something like this. Like the secondaries and the main guns firing off in different directions. Like really in the thick of it. Harald Haarfagre has 10 main gun rounds left. Haraldsson is completely dry. Four main gun rounds left. One left. But that might be enough. That's a lot of flooding on Audacious. Caroline getting peppered. Eclipse kind of shielding her from most of the hits. I guess we're just gonna have to pretend to be pre-dreadnoughts now. And engage with the secondaries. My last DD with torpedoes is coming back closer, but it's taken a while. At least Audacious has ceased fire. He's too angled. But the armor is well, it's pretty good armor. And not even my 7.2 inch secondaries are really doing much. Oh, there we go. Doing something. Taking out secondary guns. And crew. Don't think I'm gonna get any more flooding though, not like this. But with enough fire and enough small gun hits, might be able to pick off all the crew. Yeah, crew losses are mounting. No, we do get a little bit more flooding. And there we go. Last British battleship. If only the DDs had been well behaved from the start. Could have gotten a lot more damage out of those torpedoes and lost fewer DDs. But that's a win. And all is well that ends well. And the last meeting this month is just a lonesome little DD. Sable class. Do we want to see if the J33 class is actually good at 1v1ing an enemy DD? Let's find out. Because you do end up with those kind of battles from time to time. Typically when you have a DD in port and the game decides that no, it's gonna go and fight an enemy DD that is maybe protecting a convoy or something. Ooh, you're damaged though. That's not ideal. But they were designed to do those kind of things. As was the Haughty Claws light cruiser. Let's just turn off your guns so that if we do spot the enemy, I'm not gonna have my battlecruisers waste what ammo they have left trying to hit a DD at max range. So I'm bringing the light cruiser as backup. How far away are you? Vanity. What kind of firepower do you have? 4.5-inch guns? Okay. Haughty, you can do donuts here. And if I need you, I will bring you in. But to begin with, 3301 will be the one to fight this enemy DD. 22.4 kilometer torpedo range. That is better than my torpedoes. You got triple guns. You got 2 triple gun turrets. One of them has a very bad arc of fire. I got triples as well. Let's wait for Vanity to launch. There we go, she launched. Now let's turn. Because the torpedoes will like end up here somewhere. I can launch as well. There we go, my torpedoes are in the water. My guns are doing damage. Quite a lot of damage. Let's just make sure this light cruiser isn't gonna get hit by torpedoes accidentally. That would kind of suck. Now let's bring it in. Although I don't think it's needed. I think 3301 has this covered. Unless the enemy gets a couple of really good hits in. Yeah, they've taken some flooding, knocked out their torpedo launcher. So yeah, it seems the 33 class is pretty good at hunting enemy DDs. But there we go. 7.5-inch guns from those light cruisers. Even better. Very nice. Although I think J33 was the one to do a lot of the crew damage to Vanity. I didn't really check, but having knocked out the torpedo launchers, that knocks out a lot of crew as well. Alright, and that was one more month in 1938. Let's see here. My task forces have not quite combined yet. Let's have them combine here. Because it's probably not a bad idea to wait another month before fighting that battle. Actually, so that my battlecruisers can restock on ammunition. Yeah. So this force here, we're gonna send you up here. Let's see, what do we want to take first? Newfoundland? Nova Scotia? Let's go for Nova Scotia first. Yes. 97% chance to succeed this invasion. Do I have any tonnage sitting around that I can add to that? I do. These are being repaired. Well, one of them was suspended, but that's, yeah. 0%, 26%, 33%. So hopefully we're gonna get this, and then I can send my ships through into the Med, and we can launch an invasion of southern Spain to keep the French from invading northern Spain. I think that's the plan here. Invasion of Ireland is going well. Attacker tonnage. They have no tonnage here. What are you on about? What are you smoking, game? There's no enemy tonnage in this circle. Didn't I select that fleet? Thought I did. There we go. And then that light cruiser can actually join here. Right. 26, 0, 33. Let's see, what else? 28, 62. Okay, so France is probably going to take Thailand off of me. There's not that much I can do to prevent that. But at least I will take Malaya. Thailand I can probably take back at some point. Cambodia as well. It would be nice to take all of this stuff off of France, I think. Let's see, can I just launch an invasion this turn of Cambodia? I can. That doesn't take much. But what do they have left? Britain is down to only 5 remaining ships. They've been knocked down a peg. France, 39 ships. The US is building ships. Germany, not really. They're shrinking by 5% annually because they're at war with Italy. Are they actually going to do anything about that war, though? Like, for example, invade central Italy? That would be something they could do. We are getting the Mark 5 9-inch gun. We are getting the gas turbines. A little bit of transport loss, but not too bad. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really have enough spare shipbuilding capacity to unsuspend the repairs of Freidi and Garm. But soon. We're very soon finished with building a bunch of new DDs. Viking 2 class, they're gonna have to get some refits right out the gate. Now with that, let's see what happens in the next month. Let's see if we get Gibraltar. And I think we did. Strike first. Here. And here. And there. Malaya and Gibraltar. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Okay, so we have to hurry up and take this part of Spain. So this task force can move into here. This cruiser can actually just, I don't know, stay in Manila and generate some convoy missions, maybe. As for this task force, now we're gaining some more ammunition. I think they should now be able to engage this French task force, which actually isn't doing much. They're not completing that invasion. And we're doing an invasion of Nova Scotia. Let's see. There we go. 4,000 tons. That's not much. That might be overkill. Yeah, good luck, Britain. You don't have the tonnage to take Sweden. But I can take... Am I invading Northern or Ireland or just Ireland? I'm not sure. Based on the location of the invasion circle, I'm not sure which one I'm actually invading here. Anyway, it's 100%. Right. US actually has the biggest navy currently. Not as many capital ships as me though, so they're a bit lower. Oh, they're the same on tonnage, more or less. I think their battleships are pretty big. It's the size of an American battleship these days. If I can find one in port, maybe. Where are they? There they are. No, like, single battleships anywhere that I can try and identify. One battleship, 50,000 tons. Last I checked, they had something weighing in at almost 100, but they might have different classes in service. Anyway, the German battleships are definitely pretty big. 140,000 tons, that's twice the size of my Harald Haarfagre class. So, that is quite impressive. That's a very German thing to do. The biggest battleship. Although I guess, yeah, they never actually had the biggest battleships at any point in time in which they had battleships. But that's, you know, the popular idea of the oversized German Wunderwaffe. Anyway, I think that's it for this episode. We fought some battles. We are launching some new invasions, and we're kind of racing the clock against these French land invasions that we can't really do that much about. Yeah, they're gonna take Thailand off of me. 91%. Just too much of a difference in land army forces. I was kind of hoping this invasion here would take some pressure off of Thailand, but I guess maybe not. They might just be counted separately. That would be a very Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts thing to do, to just not have yeah, no, army forces don't play any part in naval invasions. That's right. I knew that, I just kind of forgot. Because the army logistics plays no part. Like, you can reduce the enemy army logistics down to single digits, and a naval invasion will require just the same amount of tonnage as if they had 100. But if you reduce their army logistics, their army advances will really suffer. But yeah, Gibraltar, wasn't this a huge port? Or is it just because I damaged it in a port strike? That might be it. Yeah, probably. Anyway, goodbye, and take care.